Welcome back, Phantom Brave fans. We're about to go do the very first map here. But first, I'm going to show you something. So, if you want to create a creature or a character, you just talk to Morona. And you go to Create. Summon brings people that you've, or items, and I'll get to that a little more in the future, that you've stored. Or that may have died so horribly that they've stored themselves. Store is where those items are stored. We can create, we can name change. We can change all these guys' names. We're actually going to create in a little bit. Right now, I've got a limited selection of guys to create from. Certain character types are unlocked as you go through the story. Others, you just need to kill 20 of to unlock. Alright, now we've got the soldier. They're way too slow to really be useful. This guy, pretty reasonable attack. Not the worst speed in the world. Her speed's a little better. Not quite as good attack. It's also worth noting that they have different titles. He's not just a fighter. He's a fond fighter. And if we don't like those titles for some reason, we just back out. Now he's a spoiled fighter. She's a cunning Valkyrie. And you've got witches, healers. These are not the best healers to use on the map. But we're not going to complain because we've been given one. A merchant. This is the dungeon monk, which will allow you to create random dungeons, which are a nightmare and a headache. So later we're going to be creating a Valkyrie and a fighter, just because. Gotta be careful where you jump or you'll actually damage them, which is not a good thing. He's not going to allow me to buy anything yet, which is frustrating. So, the mailbox allows us to go to the world map. Phantom Isle, that's the conveniently named place we live. We're going to Terra Firma. Well, let's see what they have to say when we go to visit.
Episode 1. The Possessed.
Hey, isn't that the possessed chick? She doesn't...
What's the elder thinking? She's just a little girl. There's gotta be better chromas out there.
Shh! This generation just doesn't know when to keep their voices down. Methinks he's planning to fight evil with evil. You know, like fire?
He sounds like a thief.
Exactly! He's taken every jewel on the island. Not that there were a lot. What's more, he's taken all of our food as well.
That's terrible! Who would do something like that?
Aren't I paying you to figure that out? Ah, I'll give you a clue. All we know is that he's in the White Wolf Army. Oh, who knew they'd sink so low?
The White Wolf Army? No way!
Yes, they're LARPers.
Ash had spoken without thinking. His outburst alarmed the townspeople, as only Morona could see him in his phantom form.
Ah, who said that?
Huh? I didn't hear anything.
Sorry, Morona, I didn't mean to shout. Anyway, listen to me. You need to refuse this job.
Huh? Why?
Think about it. Who's the strongest raven? Raphael, the leader of the White Wolf Army. So skilled that he's one of the 9 swords of Ivoire. We wouldn't stand a chance.
You're right. We'll just negotiate. I don't like lots of fighting anyway.
That isn't what I...
worry, Mr. Elder. I'll take care of everything.
Oh, it means a lot to us. I'll hope for your success.
What are you doing? Do you want to end up possessed too? Stay away from her, do you hear me? Stay away!
Morona.
It's okay, Ash. One day.
Because that's how you treat 13-year-olds. You trick them to doing your dirty work, and then you treat them terribly while they're doing your dirty work. We're going to go ahead and play the tutorial just because we could use the experience this early on. What's notable is that Morona is the only constant unit. Ash isn't going to stay around anymore. Other units aren't going to stay around forever. And this is going to kind of explain that here. One thing that this tutorial doesn't really point out is that at mid to late game, there's exactly one stat that matters, and that's speed. You can actually get to the point where you have no chance of acting if your speed is not top tier. So earlier on, we might care a little bit about things like attack or intelligence, but it's going to get to the point where we're going to be only using those items that guarantee a speed boost. And later we'll be bringing our own items in, but that's another story. So we're going to go ahead and bring Ash into this.
Let's do it!
Just showing off that there's only one creature here, and it's this Scrabbit. Notice that right now she only has one attack, and that's Strike. And for her, that's a really terrible attack. I'll show you what we're going to be doing to fix that later. Now, Ash has a special ability where when you summon him, he will always be the next to go.
Ready, T?
And he has an ability where whenever he does damage, you get a teeny tiny amount of money. And everyone gets a little bit of experience just for showing up. This is going to show you how to use weapons and the importance of weapons.
Let's do it!
What's ironically, though, is I'm not going to be doing this. It's showing you how to do this. We're not going to do that. Notice this sword has ice on it, but we're not skilled enough to use ice. In fact, he has a D proficiency in that type of skill. But that's okay. So, I actually want this sword because it's not a bad sword. So we look at this here. We've got two people who have a take-home percent of 51%. We're going to bring this guy in.
Let's go! Let's do it!
Now this does make this map a little harder, but that's okay. It's also worth noting that the more we use a type of skill, the more likely we are to get more of the ability to use that type of skill. I'm going to use this bush here in a moment, because what else are you going to do?
See ya!
Now that remove shows you that in 3 turns he's going to be gone.
Ready, T?
Yeah! See ya!
I've definitely made this map a little more difficult than I needed to, but that's okay. Now I ended the round holding the bad guy, so that's going to do damage to me. And that's something you need to keep in mind. But we can actually try to steal that bad guy from a fellow character. And what we just saw there, that little shine, is that his final turn, his stats go up significantly. Hey, we obtained the sword. Now it's worth noting that if Morona dies, it's not automatically game over, but we won't be able to summon anyone, and when we've got no one else on the map, that's when it's game over. And this is pretty straightforward, going to show us what protection means. That tree is giving him defense times 4.
Let's do it!
And now that the tutorial's over, we can kill this guy and move on.
Let's go!
no more protection.
Okay.
We are going to attack with Morona, because why not?
Great.
This is going to basically explain how we need to go back and heal, which is important because we did take a little bit of damage. Now, whenever you've got someone out on the map, you'll see different things happen. The soldier will always have weird little things like, it didn't work at all, and that's because the soldier's useless. Your merchant actually made you a little bit of money, and your item got 6 mana. Mana is used to unlock abilities and also useful in fusing abilities onto other items or characters. So I want to point out, we left this map with 495 Bordeaux. After we heal everybody, there we go. We still ended up ahead, so that's neat. Now he's going to sell us something, and this allows me to look for an item that'll make this so much easier for us. We need a cane with blinding light. This one's higher level, so we'll grab it. We are going to equip that on Morona. And we might as well equip this sword here on Ash. Alright, I'll show you the importance of that cane in a little bit. Next, we're going to be doing the very first actual map, so hopefully I'll see you there.